Astra! Is anyone listening? It's Celine. I've crashed on Atropos. Suit status operational, but my sidearm is missing. Heading towards White Shadow Broadcast. I have found a deceased Astra Scout here. Checking identification on a helmet. It's... my sidearm. Continuing towards the signal's origin. That can't be here. Do you see the White Shadow?
Hey everyone, we at Housemarque are excited to give you this sneak peek at Returnal. In Returnal, you will play as Celine, an Astra Scout, who crash lands on an alien planet, Atropos, after receiving a mysterious signal, White Shadow. Players will explore this inscrutable, dark planet in search for answers and unfold mysteries, which may point to a larger force at play. Dashing and quickly maneuvering your way above and around enemies is key to survival in Returnal. With the large variety of enemies and the vast number of unique movesets each possess, combat situations prove challenging no matter what the circumstances are. Death is only the beginning. Every time you die and restart, the world will change. The map will be different, enemies will appear in new locations and in differing numbers, so you have to think fast and adapt.
The environment.
Here you can see the use of the lightning alt-fire, which is great for crowd control. This is one of many alt-fires that you can acquire in the game. You will stumble across mysterious devices that can grant rewards to the player. These will vary from weapons, consumables, and upgrades, and they can completely change your playstyle and make each cycle feel unique. Besides the intense combat, Returnal also has a deep and engaging narrative. We allow players to piece together the puzzle that is the story of Celine as they venture deeper and deeper into Atropos and into her personal nightmare.
That can't be here. I think I am reliving my memories in that house, but not fully. They're corroded. Some parts are missing, others seem manufactured. But I can remember the torment, feeling like I was losing my mind. There's no comfort here. No safe space. Exactly as I left it. Scout log. 30 minutes since last crash. This forest contains extensive ruins of a xenotype civilization. Ancient walls, foundations, and statues. The forest is a swamp now. That can't be here. This must be the city created by the sentients. Scans show that the broadcast originates from the tower. This technology seems to indicate the designers were part of a hive mind. I've passed through the teleportation gate into a sprawling desert, detecting another strange energy from the mountain's summit, ascending towards destination. These pillars affect the severed so profoundly. This isn't... No, it is. The same coordinates as the desert. I recognize the mountaintop, but where are the rune structures and... Helios? This has changed. Everything has changed. Acquired a xenotype weapon, similar to our carbine technology. New technology discovered. Augments my weapon with an alternative firing mechanism. Highly effective. This will be useful. Discovered a strange device that is already active. It feels alive. More fabricators. Everything on this planet connects into a larger system. Encountered a small life form. It is parasitically attached to my arm. Does not appear hostile. Somehow, it's strengthening and weakening my suit. Discovered a broken automaton, clutching potential tool. Adding to equipment for immediate use.
Explore entirely new things that we haven't done before, but at the same time we are being mindful of sticking 10-year period during the arcade era have been mostly 2D experiences, right? So usually confined to a simple 2D playfield and lots of clean kind of like obstacles and challenges to overcome, lots of explosive action around quite, you can do a ledge vaulting, you have a hook shot. You can traverse these environments with a large amount of kinetic energy. And it's been quite interesting to take a lot of the other really...
I'm assuming you get to traverse a lot of different levels with verticality. Okay, first of all, tell me about the control.
Mindful and aware, intuitive action that comes from just translating what you want to do to seeing it happen on screen. There, and you get additional focus aim, and then the alt-fire mode. So that's something additional avoidance gameplay, and that's what we've been trying to recreate in this 3D space now. And it's kind of like we've been trying to find a unique kind of flavor of bullet hell or a unique challenge that every enemy kind of brings into the mix, and then finding tasteful ways to combine these in our levels. One other thing here to be mindful of is also the player's awareness. So, and this translates, of course, to all of our other gameplay systems. That how to create with this too, just bringing that spatial awareness and pinpointing exactly where everything is coming from, like above or below you or from the sides. But ultimately, it does come down to just really, with our previous games and with traditional bullet hell scenarios, the majority of the experience is fairly...
And we just went through this process. We were just collecting ideas and just going completely wild, thinking, okay, what would be your absolute, like, dream project if you didn't have to compromise on anything and just dared to dream, you know? And immediately, like, a couple of really strong elements came up. I mean, yeah, dark sci-fi, the protagonist carrying some kind of trauma, some kind of psychological horror, of course, has always been fascinating history. And when I watch, movies or play games with that kind of content, there's something that, that speaks to me. And sometimes it's really hard to put your finger on it, but it just works on an almost primal level. So then I kind of just try to grab onto that and try to understand, why did this make me feel this way? And then try to chase that feeling. It's like Alice tumbling down the rabbit hole in a way, and trying to...
Gameplay is quite central. Lots of effects, huge explosions. We've done a lot of different things, but these are usually the core tenets that we come back to. So now that we're doing a slightly more transformative take on, let's say, a genre that's new to us, of course, you always assume that there's some core elements that we know quite well that will be there, but then you start adding different layers, and the onion
could be unique to the medium that you cannot possibly recreate in others, right? So you do have the active component. You are contributing to the story. You are, or psychological horror, that kind of, dark space of the mind in a way that plays with uncertainty and our primal fears.
How do you feel about, you mentioned that this is an interactive medium where you can end up surprising or creating awe or wonder, or is it even more straightforward than in movies? Or how do you see that difference?
It's hard to say if it's more or less challenging. I think we do have our fundamental, let's say, values in terms of gameplay, right? So we have the razor sharp controls, we have that really tight and rewarding kind of core feedback loop, lots of explosions, of course, just tapping into the part of the brain that feels enjoyment when it sees things blow up, And that was one kind of that was a constant in the equation from the beginning. We knew that we are going to hold on to that trademark, housemark experience, but just augment and expand it with new dimensions of richness. And of course, the narrative is undeniably one of the biggest new things for us, right?
Scout log. I found whole areas rearranging themselves. Found a technology I've never encountered before. Over and over, I relive my first moments on this alien planet. The crash. The attack. My death. is no escape. Each time I awake, this planet seems somehow different, as if changing. This world is becoming part of me, infecting my mind, my memories. The longer I spend here, the more I can feel my sanity slip away. But I cannot lose hope. My only choice is to keep fighting, to keep looking for answers. My only hope is to break the cycle.